And we are live here from the Daytona International Speedway for the plate side of things in the Road and Plate Palm Rag Golf Series. I'm looking forward to this one. Daytona is such an amazing, awesome track. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm Joshua Coffernall. I'm joined by Jonathan Canfield. John, other than coming in to commentate before your Guardians could finish a baseball game, how you doing?
I am doing good, Josh, and I am, as you mentioned, pretty much pulling a double duty right now, keeping an eye on both the racing surface and the television screen. But yeah, we're getting ready to kick off qualifying here, Daytona International Speedway. I believe, have been here on the road course, but have not yet been here in the oval. Tonight we get to see the oval. Got a good field of drivers here, including none other than JCTV's own Adam Kuhn showing up to race tonight. We're going to see how these drivers do as they duke it out here on the oval on the high banks of Daytona.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun, that's for sure. Qualifying has started, and we are currently watching the number 44 of Mark Royce. He was the first one out on track, and so the format for the plate races, the ovals, it is 10 minutes instead of the 55 that we see on the road races. 10 minutes, and to get 2 laps. And right now we're seeing Mark Royce, who has gotten the green, and a little bit of an interesting line he's taken here. I personally would think that running the top throughout your warm-up lap and your first lap would be the line to run. But right now, Mark Royce, he's doing a little bit of both. So P1 by default, first one across the line. And Aaron Bray in the 11 goes top of the board.
Aaron Bray goes top of the board, but shortly after was Daniel Ott, who actually just went top of the board with a 5.16, a 50.516. Johnny Rapp close second with a 50.517. Looks like he's going to shut it down, and his qualifying effort may be done as he's back on pit road.
Daniel Ott, we're watching, currently still holding the top spot by 1/1000th of a second. Coming off turn 4 to complete lap number 2, Daniel Ott improved from a 50.516. 50.475 for Daniel Ott. It's going to be P3 as Mark Royce takes over the top spot.
Mark Royce does take over the top spot. I'm looking at Laura Wiseman right now, who just started her second lap. She's running the bottom of 1 and 2 right now. Her first lap was a 50.825. See her kind of running a non-traditional line here, almost like a sports car type of line, letting the car wash out, not really holding the bottom on the straightaways, getting to the bottom in the corners, but mostly arcing the corner. I think that's going to cost her just a little bit of speed here in qualifying. But, again, we do have that sprint race, or that heat race, if you will. It's going to be 16 laps, everyone to the feature race, obviously. But we're going to look at a top 10 invert. So if you qualify somewhere near that top 10, or even within striking distance of it, you may set yourself up. As actually Laura Wiseman, I stand corrected, goes top of the board, 50.414. She knew something that I didn't, and just made a fool out of me as an announcer and a racer.
Adam Kuhn. He's qualifying right now. Trying to see if I can find anybody else on track right now that is actually... Yeah, here we go. Samuel Stoner. Gonna get onto the apron on the straightaway. P22, 51.743 for Stoner. Turn 4. Samuel Stoner just up to P20. Adam Kuhn currently 23rd. See if Kuhn can set a better lap time. Up to 21st, 50.581 there for the 19. And Dustin Bally just sitting on track. Bally has completed both of his laps, currently sitting P5. So nobody else on track right now. Still just over 3.5 minutes left in qualifying. So right now, no action going on.
Do you see a driver that just connected? Last driver to connect here. Michael Kruger is connected. Not sure if he's loaded in yet and if he's going to have enough time to get a lap down. But the 40 machine is here. Has made it to the qualifying session. And he is actually going to get out there and make a lap.
All right. We'll see if there's enough time. It's going to be interesting. So just able to blend onto the track from the blend rule. You see here, this is a more typical line that I would think would be the qualifying line to take. Now, Mikey actually, all right, went down towards the apron, then swerved back up to the wall. Now coming back down. Mikey maybe thinking one lap qualifying here. Well,
look at that time. He might only have time for one lap. So, I mean, good idea to think about getting the good lap on the first lap. Take a chance at maybe getting that money lap on lap 1. Comparison in his lap to what I seen of that of Laura Wiseman. He washes way out there. Laura Wiseman only went to maybe about the middle. So he comes way out wide there. That might cost him a tenth or two. But again, I clearly do not know what I'm talking about because I was proven wrong by our current pole sitter once already. So as he comes out of 3 and 4, we'll see what he's got. He's up towards the wall again, down to the bottom of the track. Gonna take the apron. Oh, he might have touched the grass there. That might have been an off track. Oh no, he gets a 50.542, and it is going to be a single lap for Michael Kruger here tonight.
P19 for that 40 machine. There would have been enough time for him to do 2 laps.
There would have been time for 2 laps, but the risk you take with taking that fast lap on your first lap, especially in these cars, is the tire wear and the heat. So he most likely would have had to work really hard to improve that lap. I
just meant, like, had he decided to go on, for his fast lap on lap 2. Because you're not wrong. I definitely wouldn't have tried for a second lap with the run that he made on that first lap. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a P19 for Michael Kruger. How about Laura Wiseman?
Qualifying.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting grid. And it is Laura Wiseman on the pole. Steve Loving starting in second. Third place, Mark Royce. Evan Hoopchak, P4. P5, Dustin Bally. Jay Bast will start 6th. Sean Johnson, 7th. Tyler Bentley, P8. Brian Molitor, P9, and Daniel Ott will start in 10th.
In 11th, you're going to see Tim Henderson. 12th, Ryan Phillips. Noah Blackwell going to start in that 13th position alongside Tom Went in that 14th spot. 15th going to go to James Moore. 16th is going to be Andrew White. Johnny Rapp going to be starting in that 17th position. 18th is going to be Nathan Gentry. 19th, as we've seen him qualify, is going to be Michael Kruger. And to his outside in that 20th position is going to be Robert Brobst, rounding out your top 20. Remainder of the field, 21st going to be Samuel Stoner. Adam Kuhn, JCTV Zone, going to be in 22nd. 23rd, you'll see Brandon Brush. 24th, Aaron Bray. And Brandon Carl going to be 25th. First of our non-qualifiers, Chuck Labano, 26th. 27th going to go to Mike Thompson. And Kenneth Stepp making, I believe this is his official return to the racetrack in that 28th position. And we do not know, because of us not having a stream last week, but Kenneth Stepp is returning tonight on broadcast to the racetrack. Josh, I believe my Guardians just walked it off. I'm kind of listening to the radio. I could not get Hulu to pull up. Could you confirm?
I don't want to spoil it in case there's any people watching or that want to go and watch a baseball game later on. So I will not confirm nor deny that the Guardians just in fact beat the Yankees with a walk-off 2-run home run.
You may not, but I will. I just heard it.
So we do have something actually to talk about. This is a bracket challenge. We'll be talking about this sometime tonight, a few times tonight, I'm sure. But we're going to keep an eye on this, and it starts here tonight. And some early matchups we'll see. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, if it's just a finish of the feature race. Figure that out, how they plan on doing this. But we've seen a few tournaments here on JCTV. I'm looking forward to it. It always brings some kind of drama, always brings some kind of excitement. And what better league than a road and plate league to have a tournament like this where really anything can happen, starting here tonight at the Daytona Oval.
As they come off turn 4, pace car going to pull in. 2 drivers getting in EOL tonight are going to be Michael Kruger, Brandon Brush. Those are going to be penalties served before the race, but pace car's off. We're getting ready to go green. Laura Wiseman on the pole. She's going to hit the loud pedal, and we're going to be green. She's going to have Steve Loving to her outside. Loving actually gets the better start there, but no help from behind. Looks like the 7 of Hoop Chalk might have been a little late on getting to the throttle. Bottom lane more formed right now.
Yeah, that outside just struggled. So give the advantage to the bottom line, Laura Wiseman and Mark Royce. Loving actually going to tuck in between a hole of Royce and Dustin Bali. Now right back to the outside is Loving.
Early chaos here as you see drivers switching lanes. Some wanting to be on the outside, some wanting to be on the inside. This is totally a driver's perspective. If I'm 4 or 5 rows deep, yes, I'm back there trying to figure out what lane's going to get me towards the front, but I want to get to the bottom as soon as possible if I'm stuck there in the back. I don't want to be anywhere near where the chaos breaks out. I want to have a place to go. Bottom line is the only place where you're going to have a place to go. You can jump to the grass. If it comes off at turn 4, you can jump to pit road. Need somewhere to escape. Bottom line is going to be your escape lane.
It really is. But I can tell you from experience, you're not safe anywhere. You can wreck single file as the leader. I've done so from a bad push from behind. You can wreck if you're dead last. It's this track. It'll get you from anywhere.
I see a driver on the move already about, I'd say maybe 8 or 9 cars back on the top lane. You'll see that bright yellow and black. I believe that's the number 19 machine of Adam Kuhn. Already making his way towards the front, up in that outside lane.
Right now, Evan Hoopchak takes over the race lead from Loving, but they are side by side, back and forth now.
It's not even just side by side up front, it is side by side through the entire field. I believe there is one car, maybe a couple cars in the background that are not side by side. One car. Oh, they're having a big check here in the corner. The 5's going to get wrecked early here, and we're going to have a caution. That's going to be Robert Brope's circumstantial checkup. I believe Michael Kruger might have gotten a piece of that one.
Take a look at the JCTV replay and big stack
And
up.
Brush might have been involved as well. Oh, so the 5 had a checkup, and it looks like the 2... So checkup in front of the 5 is going to be the 77 of Brandon Carl. Brandon Carl checks up, and that's just going to bring the 5 to jump out of the gas. The 2 gets in the back of him. Kruger gets in the back of the 2. And around goes the 5. Getting hooked from that 2 car who got a bump from Kruger up and into the wall. I believe at 33. He might have gotten a small piece of it. But the 66, that's going to be Ken Estep. We just talked about him potentially just now returning to the racetrack this week.
You said the 30
early.
Said the 33 might get a piece of that. He got a whole lot of that. Nathan Gentry. That McDonald's machine.
Yeah, the replay I was looking at, I didn't see him get touched, but man, it was close. And then I see afterwards he goes up and gets a bit of the wall there. Yeah, you got a big piece of that.
See Ken Estep there as well, as you mentioned.
So about 4 or 5 cars there. The 11, I think the 11 might have escaped this one.
Aaron Bray, yeah, it was close.
I mean, he was all but in the wreck. Has the 5 wrecking to his outside and has the 33 spinning in front of him, and somehow it doesn't look like he touches anything. Wow, great job by that driver of the 11.
So, John, just wanted to let you know that life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rat Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more.
After that first caution there, I do see, even though this is just the sprint race, if you will, we do have our first full retiree, not just retiree from this race. Oh, well, I say that, and then we might have him back. I'm not sure yet. But Ken Estep did manually disconnect, so he was out. Looks like he did come back. We may see that driver back in the feature. We will have to wait and see. But he did fully disconnect and then come back. So that driver of the 66 right now, first car off track. Nathan Gentry somehow is still out there. Michael Kruger, who was right in the middle of it, he's still out there. I see, looks like Robert Brobst is still out there. I believe these drivers do have a fast free pair. They do. They have one here and one in the main. Try not to use them too early. I mean, we're only talking 16 laps here in this sprint, and we're 6 laps in right now. So Robert Brobst already used his. I assume Nathan Gentry probably used his. Kruger didn't look like he had too much damage, so he might have been okay. And I'm not sure about Ken Estep. Why? Maybe the car wouldn't roll, and then that just forced him to have to go to pit lane. Right now, he is pulling off pit lane with no hood, so has not used that fast repair. curious what's going on with the 66. We don't have live driver info or pit road reporters, so we can't really find out unless we go and ask them. But interesting stuff going on there with the 66.
So we are coming back to the green with 10 laps to go here at the Daytona International Speedway. And yeah, I mean, again, this is just a sprint race, so there is still a feature to come. And that should be an exciting one for sure.
And again, this league gives you one mulligan. You get one mulligan per race, so one in the sprint, one in the feature.
27 cars still on the lead lap. Pace car pulls into pit road. Inside the restart zone, Hoopchak goes, and green flag is back out. Underway once again here from Daytona.
And Hoopchak wasn't sleeping that time. He gets out to a great start there. He's getting a push from the 55. That's going to be a 55 of Tyler Bentley. Now Daniel Ott going to pull up to their rear bumper. Interested to see if they stay tucked in or if they go dicing it up again. We talked about this being just a sprint. It is quite literally just a sprint. Only 16 laps. Not a lot of time here, Dave. If you want to get to the front, you've got to get yourself in position now and go. You see him already trying to switch it up. Bentley going to pull to the outside up there in front of Bast.
Looked like the position they were going originally was to the outside around Hoopchak. Things then got settled down-ish. And, yeah, it looks like Bentley going to lead that lap. 10 to go. 9 to go, rather.
That lap, Daniel Ott still pushing. Hoopchak on the bottom. Outside lane going to be Bentley, Bast, Henderson. Inside going to be Hoopchak, Ott, and Loving able to keep himself up here in this battle after starting on the front row. Speaking of front row, our pole sitter hasn't dropped back that far either. Laura Wiseman, fourth car on the outside line. Everybody right now relatively calm, but you and I both know, Josh, as this is double file up front, it is basically like being in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the highway at 200 miles an hour. One little mistake by anybody. Right there, you see one almost occurred with Bentley peaking low. Fast almost gets in the back of them, but one little mistake, and it will cause absolute chaos.
There is 27 cars still on the lead lap, 28 on track. We saw a 28-car pile up at Talladega. Something starting at the front could definitely get 28 more.
Talk about 28 on track. They are coming up on that 28th car. We're going to have to see how they handle it. Lap car, Kenneth Stepp. Is he going to stay up on the top line? Where is he going to go? To the bottom, maybe? Kenneth Stepp. Still in the middle of the track. They're going to split it, and it's going to be, oh boy.
They're wrecking.
It's going to be a wreck.
It's still green.
Somehow, all of them are still straight. The only one around is Kenneth Stepp.
What?
That's going to be...
Samuel Stoner. Now we have a caution. I'm assuming that was admin thrown?
That was admin thrown, and, I mean, again, more so shocked that only two drivers really got around there. Stoner and Estep, only two cars that went around. I don't know about you, Josh. I'm going to go hop to a chopper cam and watch that one. I want to see how many cars just about lost it.
We're actually watching from the blimp cam right now. There's some drivers involved that were able to keep it straight. Stoner definitely got the wrong end of the stick.
You know, I mentioned that we don't have any radios to the inside of the teams. I will say I do have my driver chat turned on. It was a call there for Ken to get off the track. I kind of wonder, I mean, we talked about him being away for weeks, and maybe his driver chat just wasn't on there. They were begging him to go to the bottom. It looked like Ken tried to hold his line there, and he kind of just got put in a bad spot there in the middle. He wasn't exactly on the bottom where they could have went around him, or in the top lane. He was right there in the middle. Again, somehow they all scattered. No real big damage to anybody. See, the 45 is Stoner sideways. Not sure in the checkup what got him tagged. The 27 actually gets sideways here too, and he somehow straightens it out. The 27 is completely backwards. I see where Stoner gets involved. Stoner actually runs into the 66 as he's spinning. So big damage to that 65 of Stoner. Maybe some serious damage to the 27 here too. But again, I'm shocked that the 27 there somehow loops it and keeps it straight.
Pole sitter Laura Wiseman also was involved. A little bit of front end contact, and Laura was on pit road. Now back out on track.
Well, drivers definitely took the faster pair here. I assume one of them is going to be Samuel Stoner. The other one might be the 27 of Steve Loving. Again, does a full 360 there. Gets tagged in the right rear. Somehow keeps it from looping. Laura Wiseman, I'm going back to look at her contact. See how severe it was. She gets pretty good front-end contact there as a step comes up the track. And she actually gets tagged from behind there in that wreck too and somehow doesn't loop it. A lot of drivers here did a great job just handling their cars, and oh buddy, Noah Blackwell. Watching the replay again, Noah Blackwell went through the grass and never lost any speed. Realistically, should have came back up on the track and wrecked, but credit to that driver of the 9. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go see what he's seen on board as he went through that.
And we are 1 to green with the field now back double file.
Quite a ride there for Noah Blackwell. Again, 1 to green here, but that was quite the ride from the driver of the 9. Just reacted on pure instinct and yanked the wheel left, went all the way down by the infield wall and missed everything, and it comes right back up through the grass. And after all that, he's still sitting in the 6th position, is Noah Blackwell.
Pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible that we didn't have a full field 28 car pile up right there. I mean, credit to each and every one of these drivers. We could dig through that replay all day and find numerous saves that should have been bigger accidents. Tyler Bentley actually going to be on the front row here, in control. J-Bass to the outside. Henderson and Hoopchak going to be the push cars. So we come back to green. Bentley going to get on the loud pedal. Henderson going to stay close with him yet again. That's another time where I see Hoopchak in that outside lane. That's the 2nd car, and he doesn't get a good restart, and that's going to hurt the outside lane. J-Bass dropping back here.
Bentley, Henderson, and Ott are clear. Bass jumps into the line in fourth. Hoopchak coming down now as well. Single file back. Well, now Bass jumps out. Hoopchak goes with him.
These two trying to work together to get up there and attack the front. I think the miscue there is just trying to get it on the restart. I feel like you have a better chance at getting it on a restart. You got to figure out restarts here before the feature. It's two of them I mentioned now where I've seen the outside lane absolutely get destroyed. They got to figure out how to get going. But look right here, Daniel Ott going to lead that outside lane with Bass pushing Hoopchak in the third spot there on the outside lane. Here comes Bally and Johnson.
Oh, we got Brian Molitor!
Brian Molitor.
Big one! Johnny Rapp.
Rapp involved in that one. Labano may be involved. Stoner again. A step might have got a piece. The 33 of Nathan Gentry. Oh, we've got a blown engine on the 44 Mark Royce. He's limping it back. The 27 involved of Steve Loving. Maybe Brandon Carl.
Laura Wiseman just a tiny bit there.
I'm going to go see what started it. Started with the 4. I seen the 4 get out of shape. Stack up in the outside lane. Not sure who that is behind Molitor. I think it might have been Carl. Indeed it is. The 77 Brandon Carl, potentially. Get a little bit. Yeah, that is the 77 Brandon Carl. Gets in the back of the Forest stack up accident there. Molitor goes down. He's going to tag. Ryan Phillips in the 72. Phillips actually does a great job not spinning that car out. But Molitor back around into the pack. Collects the 77. The 12 trying to avoid gets down. Looks like almost into the 2. And then from behind, we've just got drivers trying to check up. The 27 trying to check up. He gets into it. That's where Rapp gets involved. They both go down and tag. They both go down and tag Labano.
It's like Nathan Gentry also involved in that again.
Gentry was involved. I'm looking at where he makes contact here. Trying to get it slowed down as the 77 spinning in front of him. And he just taps the 77. So that's his involvement. I'm looking at the 44 here, trying to see where his engine actually ended up blown. Oh. I think I see where the 44 ended up with a toasted engine. He went in there hot and got into the back of Johnny Rapp. And that Laura Wiseman too. Heavy contact there. Gentry still sitting on pit lane. Royce also still sitting on pit lane. Carl is back out there, but he is slow on track, stopping. Maybe waiting on some drivers to pass him. That could be the case. Loving is back out there. Looks like his car might be repaired. Tom Wendt was involved in that one. He's still sitting on pit road. Samuel Stoner somehow is back out there. Laura Wiseman just now pulling up onto the track. Johnny Rapp is still out there. Labano still out there. And I think that wraps up the drivers that were involved in that one. Molitor also back out there. So it looks like right now we've got 1, to potentially 3 cars that are not back out on track.
I'm showing 3 still in the pits. Went, Royce, and Gentry. So we re-rack and restack them and try one more time. This time for a green-white checkered. With
and it's going to be our only attempt here at a green-white checkered. So it's they either make it or we end under caution. See which happens here.
So I'll remind you how the overtime system works in iRacing. If they take the green in any time on the green flag lap, with two to go, a caution comes out, then that's it. As John mentioned, the race will finish under yellow. If they take the white flag and there is a wreck, generally a caution won't come out. Generally. And the race will finish under...
Admin were to throw one. That would have to be an admin throw caution for it to come out under a white flag condition.
Yes. Now, we have seen crazier things in iRacing where leader has taken a white and yellow has come out. It's been quite a while. iRacing has probably figured that out, but...
At least we don't have to worry about a Parker Kligerman Roval situation.
Oh, man. Yes. Well, I don't know.
Look, Barney the Flagman is as accurate as they come. We will not have to worry about that.
Get ready for one attempt at overtime here in the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series Daytona Sprint Race. Pace cars in. Leader inside the restart zone. Green flag back out. Not wasting no time.
Took a little bit of wheel spin there out of the 29 and almost caused him to change lanes there. I thought he was going to for a second, but I knew for a fact it would have been a penalty, so I'm glad that he didn't. Outside lane actually a little bit more organized, rolling up to them. Now Batt's going to get to the back bumper and help him out. Hoopchok needs to close up for them to get momentum, and same thing with Volley. He needs to get up there and help the outside lane. As Blackwell and Johnson kind of laid back as well. 4th cars in line on each lane. And look who's there in that 5th car on the inside line. That's going to be Adam Kuhn.
Pretty good night so far here in the sprint race. Coming through 3 and 4. Still leading. The white flag is going to be waving. One more here in the sprint race.
Barney the Flagman going to put that yellow flag away for now. Again, we could still have an admin caution, but the catch is to have an admin caution. The admin that would throw it is currently sitting there.
Maybe taking a peek is Dustin Volley. He is. He's looking for help from Johnson. So now they're going to go 3 wide. Bentley moves up. He's got a clear shot here. Just hoping Jay Bass stays behind him.
The field is shuffling behind. You see drivers making moves.
Oh,
he turned into the pack, and that's the big one. Right at the end.
We're staying right here. It looks
going to get the win in the sprint race. Ahead of Jay Bass and ahead of Henderson.
So Daniel, Jay Bass, Henderson, Hoopchok, and Michael Kruger, your top 5.
I believe Kruger might have snuck through that one. I'm going to go back and look. No, Kruger was actually in the mix there. We just didn't notice him.
Well, I just tried to show a replay, and my telemetry said no. So
as we move forward, we go into the warm up here. That'll give us a couple minutes here to actually, Josh, I believe you're going to get to it. We get to talk to our race winner.
Maybe. I don't see him.
Give me 2 seconds. Maybe more than 2 seconds. Let me find where I actually call for him.
So he's currently not in a voice chat for us to pull in the booth. So, if anything, we'll see if we can catch him after the feature race is over, unless if something happens here quickly and we're able to get him beforehand. But just want to remind you, life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rack Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. Does not look like...
I did go and talk to our race director. They are requesting him. Whether or not he shows, we will have to see.
There he is.
I believe you've actually got this one for now. I've had most of them every week, so we're going to let you get this one.
And Daniel, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right, well, warm-up is just about finished, so I'll make this short and sweet for you, but congrats on the sprint win. Looks like a pretty wild one out there. What'd you have to do to get it done?
Yeah, I was dodging some wrecks and having Jay Bass behind me pushing. He did most of the work.
Were you worried at all that he would pull out a line?
A little bit, but as soon as I saw he didn't, I knew we were set.
All right, sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Jay Bass Blast on Twitch. He gets a shout out for getting me that win.
All right. Congrats on the sprint win, and maybe we'll talk to you again after the feature.
Thank you.
That was Daniel Ott, the sprint winner.
The Dano sponsored machine got it done there in the sprint, but that sets us up right here for our starting lineup of the feature race. Josh, you want to go ahead and run us down our top 10?
Yeah, starting on the pole, it's going to be Aaron Bray, Ryan Phillips second, Brandon Brush third, Tyler Bentley in fourth, Noah Blackwell fifth, Michael Kruger sixth, Evan Hoopchak seventh, Tim Henderson eighth, Jay Bass ninth, and Daniel Ott, of course, the winner of the sprint, starting in 10th.
Drivers who missed the invert there in the sprint. Starting 11th, going to be Chuck Labano. 12th, going to be Brian Molitor. 13th, Laura Wiseman, our fast time qualifier here tonight, starting in 13th. 14th, going to be Robert Brooks. 15th, James Moore. 16th, Johnny Rapp. 17th, going to be Steve Loving. Dustin Bally in 18th. Looks like Dustin Bally missed the grid, so he'll actually be starting from the pits, not in 18th, but right now being scored as the 18th starting spot. 19th going to be Samuel Stoner, 28th Andrew White, 21st Sean Johnson, 22nd going to go to Adam Kuhn, 23rd Mike Thompson, 24th going to be Brandon Carl, Kenneth Stepp, 25th, 26th Tom Went, 27th going to go to Mark Royce, who is not on track right now. And Nathan Gentry going to round out the field. So I don't see Mark Royce present for our feature. He might have disconnected. No, not disconnected, but definitely not in the feature right now. And I see the 66. It says that the 66 is disconnected as well. So a couple drivers down here early.
Mark Royce is now on pit road.
So that's the second driver to start from pit lane. Dustin Bally and Mark Royce both going to start from pit lane. Kenneth Stepp, unsure what happened with him. It's just a random manual disconnect. Did that earlier and got back in. We'll see if he gets back in to start from the pits. Right now, Aaron Bray going to lead them to the green, as I believe we're coming off at 3 and 4.
Yes, indeed we are. The pace car looking into pit road. Aaron Bray going to bring us to the green. Green flag is out. We're underway. 32 laps here in the feature.
Side by side and even right now. Oh, Bray gets a little bit off the bottom there and kind of gives a body shot there to Bentley.
I think Brush might have gotten contact. No, I'm sorry. Phillips might have gotten contact as well. Brush is behind Bray.
Michael Kruger, third car in the outside lane there, keeping it close. And how about our feature winner, Daniel Ott, already up to being the, I believe that's the 5th car in the outside lane. Yes, that's going to be 5th car outside. It's going to be Daniel Ott. Right now, outside line prevailing. Mostly double file till you get back to about where I see Sean Johnson hanging out now. I'd say that, and they are double file back there. Looks like Nathan Gentry trying to work the outside on the tail of the field. 77 is Brandon Carl. In the 12 and the 27. These drivers all opting to hang back. As far as our drivers that started from the pit, Mark Royce is in turn 2, exiting. Dustin Bally just now coming off of pit road along with Kenneth Stepp. Those drivers, I believe, are already going to be lapped down, maybe potentially 2.
No, Dustin Bally actually got out on track at the same time as Royce. Bally came back down pit road. Guessing there was a penalty.
Maybe a self-assessing penalty of some kind, or even, a speed getting off of pit road, but served his penalty by the looks of it, so he's off and away. He's just in front of the pack, along with Kenneth Stepp. Kenneth Stepp going to hold the bottom here. Got some drivers bailing out. Kenneth Stepp going to go to the bottom. Those drivers that are bailing out are now going to have to rejoin the track. We've got chaos. Kenneth Stepp rejoins in the middle of the pack, and we've got action back there. Laura Wiseman gets in the back of the 41, and Adam Kuhn's around.
And that's going to bring out a yellow. I think drivers were nervous there about coming up to lap a step.
Certainly were. I don't think a step did anything wrong there, though. It was just another driver being cautious, kind of got bumped, or even net-coded, it looked like, potentially. It was the 41.
Stoner into Wiseman. Wiseman into Brush. Brush went up the track, collected Kuhn.
The Stoner actually is all in the back of Laura Wiseman there. I don't think Stoner can see what's going on up ahead here. We talk about all the time. You can only see so far in these cars, and I'm looking at it. Stoner is already partially to the right of Wiseman, so Wiseman is really, from a driver's standpoint, blocking the view of Stoner to even see that a step is there and check up. Stoner gets in the back of Wiseman here. Wiseman goes up and just tags the 41 in the left rear. And Josh, you know the old saying we have about when you get touched in the left rear, especially in these cars, you can't do it. You can't bump in the left rear. You can't touch the left rear, especially in a corner. And when that happens, the 41 gets loose, goes up and tags Adam Kuhn.
Yeah, and I showed you guys as well there. We were watching the onboard of Stoner, and just like John said, you can't really see that well in that position. And, the one thing about iRacing, if you're unfamiliar, you are forced to be in the cockpit of these cars. You don't get, the chase view or the far chase. be able to see on the outside. You are stuck in the cockpit of these cars. It is hard to see when you're lined up like that anything ahead of the car in front of you.
Yeah, and Evan Hubchak looks like he's going to be the one to make it through there. And, man, Sean Johnson almost makes it through as the 41 goes up and tags the wall and bounces back out in front of him. Johnson almost had it checked up enough to make it through. Just gets a piece of it there at the end. Some drivers opting to sit on pit road here. I see Johnson, one of them. Looks like Adam Kuhn might be a driver sitting on pit road as well. Dustin Bawley sitting on pit road. Unsure what's going on with driver of the 24. Brandon Brush looks like he took his fast repair. He is back out. I believe Kenneth Stebb might have gotten some kind of a waiver around there, or even a lucky dog, because I don't think Bawley went a lap down there. I think Bawley avoided going a lap down. Donor being in the middle of that, he's still out there. Wiseman also sitting on pit lane getting damage repaired.
So right now, it's kind of, do you take a fast repair or do you get repairs? Honestly, it really depends. I think for the 65 of Samuel Stoner, I think Stoner had to take a fast repair. It's very obvious right now with the times. Wiseman, Kuhn, Johnson, they were on pit road waiting out these repairs. And the one smart thing about doing this is now you have the fast repair for later. This race, 32 laps. It's not a long time, but there's still 27 laps to go that, you know, compared to the laps, there's still quite a ways to go in this race.
I agree, Josh, and there's only half a fuel tank in these cars. These guys are going to have to make at least one green flag or caution stop. So some of these guys, I mean, like Dustin Bawley, I think could be even playing strategy, coming in, topping off. You're already at the back. Why not go ahead and play the fuel game? Stretch your fuel a little bit. And if this does turn into a caution fest here, you know, we don't technically have to stop under green. Keep all your fuel under caution, and you might just benefit off track position here.
Yeah, you know, these plate races, they are so hard. People say it takes luck. It does. But you also got to play your cards right, be in the right position, and, you know, pull the correct strategy as well. And right now, still early. We're going to have 26 laps to go when we go back green.
It looks like all our drivers that were getting repairs on pit road did get off in time. Adam Kuhn is back out there. Minimal damage to the 19. A little bit of a left rear crinkle from what I see. Laura Wiseman, rear bumper, has seen better days, but all in all, they look good. Kenneth Stepp, it looks like he got his card pulled here tonight, and again, I first incident, I understand. I think he was on a short leash already after the first incident, but I didn't see anything wrong that he did there. Michael Kruger is going to lead us to the green. We are green, and Kruger jumps out there already a car length before the line.
That outside line, it's going to be kind of quick. Bentley and Phillips. I'm sorry, Henderson. Bentley and Henderson. Phillips is on the inside this time.
Making moves back there. You see our sprint race winner. That's going to be Daniel Ott. Making his way towards the front again. You know, we say a lot of times that this is a luck race, but there are some drivers that just have this skill. And for Daniel Ott to go out there and win that sprint race and now be up here again, I'd say he's one of those drivers right now who is kind of peaking at the right time, showing us that he has the skill to get to the front. This is not the first Super Speedway race this season that I've seen that 29 Danos machine towards the front.
Oh, definitely not. And doing a great job. Third on the outside line. Inside line.
72, Ryan Phillips, I seen a pretty big blink there in the corner. And look who's looking towards the middle there. I believe that was Noah Blackwell in that 9 car. Potentially looking at the middle. Noah Blackwell, no stranger to making, I won't say dangerous, but questionable moves.
So the inside line coming back, fighting. Michael Kruger trying everything he has. Leading that inside line to get back to the inside of Bentley.
You've got the top 21 cars in the lead pack. You've actually got a small pack forming out back, led by Adam Kuhn. Actually, as I say that, Adam Kuhn getting left by some of these guys. Now being led by James Moore, who's getting a push from Bally and Loving. Those drivers hanging out towards the back, kind of reminiscent of a Joe Gibbs Racing alliance that we seen a couple of years ago. They would go hang out at the back and wait for all the wrecks to happen.
Kruger has gotten that inside line back, pulled even with the outside line. Bentley still holding on.
Now a driver I'm keeping an eye on is our fast qualifier tonight. She's left out to dry right now. Yeah, she's losing the draft. Laura Wiseman losing the draft here early after taking some damage repair. So we say to Josh, still early, still plenty of time for any number of things to happen, especially up here with this pack and this energy that it has right now. As I mentioned, top 21 cars are in this lead pack, and I mean, they're allowing that rear pack to catch right now as the 12 is closing up to the rear of the field to add more cars into this already energized field. Laura Wiseman is not hopeless yet. It's going to take them at least, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 laps before they even build up enough energy to try and start gapping her to the point where they're going to catch her. Right now, you already see, though, if you look, she's way behind.
That car way back in the background. If you're Laura Wiseman, yeah, you wish you were up here, but at the same time, I'm not too worried.
I mean, we just seen an example of a situation similar to what Laura Wiseman is in. That 28-car pileup that you brought up that happened in real life. Guess who was about half a track back and somehow finishes in the top 10 in that race? Goes from like 30th to the top 10. Denny Hamlin. It's say what you will about the driver, say what you will about the luck. It's just showing right there that sometimes it's not a bad thing to be the odd car out.
That inside line still pushing. Michael Kruger trying to hold on. Bentley and that outside line doing a great job.
Kruger doing a great job just holding a steady line right there for the 72 to be able to push. I always find that the trickiest thing, especially with these Xfinity cars, the bumpers kind of line up perfectly no matter what manufacturer you run. It's very easy because of the curved rear bumper and the curved front bumper for you to get out of line. And if you're that second car in line, the 72 as an example of Ryan Phillips on the inside, all you want to be able to do is follow the car in front of you. So the car in front of you being Michael Kruger. As we jump down here, the 56, 55 both jump down. Daniel Ottman now lead the outside lane. As I was saying, you want that lead car to just focus on painting that white line, or that yellow line in this case.
And Kruger are going to jump to the outside line. Oh, big spin behind him! And we have another yellow.
Oh, and it's going to involve our sprint race winner, I'm not sure what happened there, Josh. It looked like the 72 might have came off the bottom in the trial, or maybe a netcode side drafting issue.
Really
72,
sure.
actually no, 72 way up the track. Not sure what happened there. Definitely some netcode involved, but the 72 way up the track at first. Then it looks like Ott gets loose, comes down into the 72. I'm not sure if the little side draft or the air of the 72 coming up made Daniel Ott loose, or if he checked up thinking that the 72 was going to come up into him, and Blackwell just got in the back of him and got him loose.
Take a look one more time here. So this is from a little bit of a slower perspective. I don't know if it was side draft gone wrong. I don't see Noah Blackwell making contact.
I will say this, the air affects these cars really weird. You kind of see as Kruger goes up, it looks like the 72 kind of naturally follows him and crowds the 29 a little bit. That allows the 29 a little bit of side draft there to get a run to the 72. Nothing, I don't see Blackwell making any contact. I see the 29 maybe going down to try and get another side draft, and yet side draft gone wrong. I'm not sure. I'm going to need to work some camera angles here. It looks like a really weird netcode incident.
So the race off pit road is won by Michael Kruger. Just fuel only.
And Josh, that incident was close. It looks like there's maybe about anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of netcode, though. I don't think Daniel Ott would have made contact in a realistic scenario. It would have been a really close side draft, but not contacting. So just interesting on that incident. I don't think Daniel Ott did anything wrong. I certainly don't think the 72 did anything wrong when you get hit in the right rear. And oh my goodness, the 44 may have done it to himself again as I'm watching the replay. But he almost made it. But the 44 may have done it to himself again. May have not gotten checked up enough. And wouldn't you know it, the first car he hits is Daniel Ott. I think the second one he's going to hit is going to be Johnny Rapp again. I'm watching replay to see if he does. No, he doesn't. Interesting accident. For sure. Not sure what happened with Ott there. I would have thought he'd had damage. Somehow he's cycled to the lead.
No, he's actually just trying not to be a lap down. He's going to get a wave around.
Oh yeah,
here.
he's getting a wave. Okay. I was really concerned there for a second.
It's Michael Kruger. Yeah, it's a race lead. I'm not sure.
Not sure how that happened either. But sure, I guess Ott gets a wave around here. Not sure how he would have needed it. But, you know, it's one of those things with iRacing. We don't know.
So, okay.
That would have happened.
I don't know. Everybody pit. And there were drivers down pit road already. I believe the pace car had passed Ott, but because the leader hadn't passed Ott, that just put Ott behind the pace car, but then would get the wave around. I don't know if that's... I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I'm not sure. I'm watching background though, and he almost had a checking up accident. If you see the purple number 9 car down on the bottom there, that ran into the back of the feet from the angle that I was looking at.
We are getting ready to go back green. It'll be 15 laps to go when the green flag comes back out. Michael Kruger is your race leader. Tyler Bentley will start to his outside. Then Carl Henderson and Molitor are your top 5.
Base car pulls off. We are going to be coming back to the green. Michael Kruger going to be in control with a big gap to the 77. Unsure what's going on there. That's interesting. Some restart games being played there. Oh, Molitor gives a shot to the 77 of Brandon Carl.
That bottom formed just a little bit better than that top, but, well, never mind.
And they break apart, and now here comes the top. I'm not sure what restart rules we have for this league, especially with it being a dual type of series for road and plate specifically, but just watching that restart, I'm curious if there would ever be in a situation where the 77 or anybody who lays back like that would get a penalty. I mean, the 77 was an entire row's length from Michael Kruger there on that restart.
Ryan Phillips, Dustin Bally, and Steve Loving all come down pit road there. Bentley and Henderson, they clear Kruger and jump on down to the bottom. Kruger moves to the top. Now, Carl, Molitor, they're going to try to challenge to pass that top line currently led by Kruger. So 13 to go. Bentley, the race leader. Henderson, Carl, Molitor.
Wendt and Kruger are the first two side by side. Wendt gonna actually jump up to the outside.
See if Wendt can help bring some energy to this top line. Pull them up to the front.
See him trying to get that side draft just a little bit there. Kruger doing a great job pushing here. Oh boy, hang on to her, Wendt. Hang on to her. Sideways, as you see that 28 car, I mean, the method to the madness is working. Kruger's doing a great job here just pushing him. Wendt does not look comfortable with the pushes, but it's working. It's getting this top line moving. It's getting them to the front. You just got to cross your fingers and hope that one of those pushes doesn't go completely sideways. Momentum carrying. Here comes that outside lane. Tom Wendt doing a great job leading it.
He's about to get a couple more, too. At the line, it is Bentley that leads it. Just a couple laps. Tom went from 6th to 2nd.
And again, still getting great help from Kruger. Kruger showing that he's a great pusher right here. Having issues leading the lane, it seems, because he's not getting the same pushes from some of these guys. But Kruger is doing everything he can to work that top lane and get whoever is in front of him to the front. I don't think it would matter if it was Tom Wendt or who it was. Kruger would be pushing. Right now showing that he's willing to push.
10 laps to go here in the Road and Play Palm Rat Golf Series feature at Daytona. They are catching a lap car, the number 24 of Dustin Bally.
Gotta wonder if that pit stop was designed. We are at a point where I'd say they've surpassed their pit window. I don't know if we've had enough cautions for any of them to say that they're good yet. I don't know if there's any fuel saving going on. But Bally, definitely interested to see him pit by himself out of the pack. Makes you wonder if there's a strategy to be played. Here's the 41 is up on the outside. He's in the wall, and oh boy, we got to stack up back there.
It's Brandon Brush. They're 3 wide a couple of places on the racetrack.
And look who's crawling their way back up here after being up front and getting himself around in front of the field. That 29 Daniel Ott uses that fast repair. Still not willing to just lay back and play it conservative here. As you mentioned, we're within 10 to go. It's time to go. Daniel Ott knows it. He's going to get back up here. Watch another car in the background. I believe that's our friend Adam Kuhn. Having some internet issues. Definitely having some blinks. Hopefully he can keep that as smooth as possible here as we come towards the end of the race.
Ooh, that bottom line wiggling a bit. It's going to help. Tom Wendt, Michael Kruger.
Wendt's going to go to the bottom.
So Kruger now leading the outside line. Gentry in that second car on the outside.
Gotta wonder if Wendt's going to try to play a control game here. No, he's not. He's going to let Kruger roll that outside. Right now, if Wendt wanted to, he could still pull up and block that outside lane. I think it's too early to start trying to play control, though. Just kind of find who you like to be pushed by and stay with them. See the 41 peek into that third lane again. Daniel Ott trying to cut it off. Got one peeling off to pit. That's going to be the 77 of Brandon Carl. Gotta wonder who else is in that situation on fuel where they need to pit. The 7 of Hoopchak trying to get to the bottom in front of Molitor. That was tight.
Well, I was just literally looking at the telemetry, and everybody had pit except Brandon Carl, and I was wondering if that was a mistake on my telemetry or not. I'm going to guess it wasn't. Brandon Carl off and away on pit road now.
Lap cars up ahead of the pack here that they're going to catch, and that's going to make this very interesting. We're going to hope that these lappers can keep it clean and green. And oh, we've got action behind Molitor, Johnson, and Stoner. Stoner coming back up on the track. Somehow they all keep it straight there. That could have been big. See some front end damage to Noah Blackwell. Noah Blackwell going to peel it down to pit road. Splitter on that number 9 machine has seen better days.
These guys about to catch a couple lap cars, one to the outside, one to the inside.
Both of them go up top here. That's going to be the 5 and the 27. Steve Loving and Robert Probst. They'll tag on to the end of this pack. So those two are now going to be racing each other for a lucky dog as they pick up pace here, and they should be able to attach to the back of this pack.
5 laps to go here at Daytona. Still Tom Wendt leading the race. Top 3 are clear. Wendt, Bentley, and Henderson. And then it's side-by-side battle between Kruger and Hoopchak. Catching another lap car.
The 11, that's going to be Aaron Bray, I believe. I'm doing a lot of this off memory. Somebody give me some credit here. But I believe that's Aaron Bray. Michael Kruger still leading that outside lane, and they're actually pulling back up here a little bit. Kruger getting a little bit of a run down that back straightaway. They just need to keep it closer in the corners. And called that number a couple times tonight. The 44, third car in the outside lane. That's going to be actually a lap car. Mark Royce, one lap down, currently leading the lucky dog. if we were to go to caution here.
Right now, if you're in that outside line, you really don't care who's around you. You're just hoping they push.
Gotta pull out in front of Kruger. Oh, that was a close one. But it's gonna pay dividends. I mentioned it earlier. Kruger's doing a great job pushing. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. I think Hoopchok's seen that. He knows that Kruger's gonna get him to the front.
As I was just mentioning, it doesn't matter who's around you. You're just hoping that they push it. That's what Hoopchok was thinking as he is getting a huge push from Kruger. 3 to go. Hoopchok leading.
The intensity's starting to pick up. I'm starting to see a lot of these cars wiggle back and forth as they're starting to get a little closer. Side draft's getting a little more dangerous. Hoopchok currently leading the outside lane. Looks like he peeks to the bottom, thinks about blocking it, chooses to stay up in front of Kruger. I think your best shot there is to stay in front of that 40 and hope that that 40 does not blow the engine, because golly, he is all over the back bumper, giving a great push to Hoopchok right now.
It's getting intense if you're in the driver's seat. They've got another few lap cars ahead as they're coming to 2 laps to go.
If Kruger doesn't blow it up, he's most likely going to determine who the winner of this race is, I feel like. His front bumper and the way he pushes is just so smooth right now. I feel like he's definitely got one of the smoothest pushes out there in the pack right now.
Tom Wendt is clear. Does Tom Wendt go up top, or does he stay on the bottom? Currently staying on the bottom, hoping for Bentley to push.
We've got 3 wide behind. They're going to put the lap car in the middle. Oh, he's going to push the 33 up the track. 33 trying to get back in line. Nowhere to go. They're still 3 wide trying to sort this out. He's going to get into the 29 and we're going to crash.
They crash in the grass. The white flag has been taken. Lap cars determining who's leading this race. 3 wide. All sorts of chaos.
It's going to come down to Kruger, Wendt, and I believe that's Bentley.
Now
Those
Kruger.
are the only 3 drivers left.
Kruger goes to the outside line. He's going to have a drag race with Wendt. Bentley, who does he go with? Bentley goes high.
Hanging out back. If these 3 crash, Molitor's out back to steal it.
They're still wrecking in the back. Kruger leading this race. Bentley with the push. Now contact between Wendt and Bentley. They're going to spin. Kruger kind of all by himself. Can he hold on?
Cruise to a win.
Michael Kruger. Checkered flag. It's Kruger.
In one of the most chaotic last laps I have. I've been in this booth for almost 2-3 years now, and that is the most chaotic Daytona finish I have seen yet. You got a crash coming to the white. You've got lap cars in the middle of the race track as the leaders are trying to get by on the white flag lap. You got a 3-car race to the finish. 2 of them take each other out. And Kruger, through all of it, I mentioned he was going to determine who the winner was. He did it for himself.
Yeah, he was the winner. John?
But I do think Tom Wendt doesn't leave Kruger's front bumper. I think he gets the win. Because, as I mentioned, Kruger had the best pushes all night long. Whether it was him or whether he pushed somebody, he determined the winner of this race. 110%.
John, I got one question. Have you ever?
I have never.
You know, Kruger, he was real upset earlier. Raced NIS at Vegas, had a fast car. I was spotting for him, actually. And things did not go our way or his way towards the end of the race. Ended up getting into an accident on a green-white checkered. I think I think this is a little bit of redemption, a little bit of relief to know he could still get it done, and Adam Kuhn there give him a celebratory bump.
I was just wondering if you've seen that, how I seen it though. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
yep,
mentioned Adam's bad internet a little earlier.
yeah.
Adam just appeared.
Adam and Mikey working together tonight.
I mean, credit Adam Kuhn even with the internet issues, and he had a couple incidents there, but he had a decent race overall. I've seen him quite a bit dicing it up there in the closing laps, and he still brought it home in 12th place.
Oh man, that was just something of a finish there. Let's go ahead and take a look at, at the unofficial race results here. And Michael Kruger is the race winner. Tom Wendt, P2. Brian Molitor, 3rd. Sean Johnson, 4th. Samuel Stoner, 5th. Laura Wiseman, 6th. Chuck Labano, 7th. Jay Bast, 8th. Daniel Ott, 9th. And Johnny Rapp finishes in 10th.
11th is going to go to Andrew White. 12th is going to be Adam Kuhn. 13th, Nathan Gentry. 14th going to be Evan Hubchak. 15th in your last car on the lead lap is going to be Brandon Brush. First car lap down, 16th place is going to be Tyler Bentley. 17th, Tim Henderson. 18th, Brandon Carl. 19th, Noah Blackwell. 20th going to be James Ward. 21st, Mike Thompson. 22nd going to be Mark Royce. 23rd, Ryan Phillips. 24th, Steve Loving. 25th going to be Dustin Bawley. 26th, Aaron Bray. 27th is going to be Robert Bropes. And Kenneth Stepp is going to be our final finisher in that 28th position.
So let's go ahead and talk to our top 3. And we'll start with 3rd place, Brian Molitor. And hey, Brian, I don't really think we said your name all night, but you finished 3rd here in the feature. What a chaotic last lap.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I went into lap the 2 final laps there. I went into them pretty content with where I was at, and really, honestly, hoping nothing like that happened. I was just glad to come out the other end positive.
It was pretty chaotic one, that's for sure. I mean, just through it all. Is there anything else you could have done, or?
No, I think you said it all when you said that you didn't say my name all night. I think that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to avoid trouble. I went into it. The bracket, there's a bracket right now. Just trying to stay ahead of Chuck, and then, frankly, I'm just sort of point racing at this point in time in the season. I think I've got something like a 40-point championship lead, which is going to be tough to take points out of if I keep just getting okay finishes to the end. So that's what I was aiming for.
Yeah, and actually I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, obviously this league is based on 2 different styles of racing, the road side and the plate side. And you've been really good on both sides, but really shining on the road. So coming into a race like this at Daytona, what is kind of in your mind? Is it just survival, or how do you approach these races?
Typically, I probably go into them over aggressive. I get frustrated when people, when the line I'm not in gets a run, and maybe I make dumb decisions sometimes. It's easy to just get wrapped up in other people's incidents, but after a particularly messy Atlanta a couple weeks ago, Steve Loving imparted some words of wisdom upon the league to just look a few cars up the track, hold your line, and don't take dumb runs at the end, and be content with your P8, your P9, your P10, and that's what I went into this race thinking, and it paid off.
All right, sponsors, shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Well, as always, Palmer Golf for sponsoring the league. Always happy with Dustin organizing this league. It's well run. Zero complaints from me. And once again, you guys, Jonathan and Joshua up in the booth, calling the shots up there. Appreciate it.
All right, well, congrats on the podium, and we'll see you next week.
Sure will. Thank you.
That was Brian Molitor, your third place finisher. John, we head over to you. Who has Tom Wendt?
Indeed, I do. And Tom, quite a chaotic finish there, man. What was going through your head there coming to that finish?
Well, what was going through my head was a lot of cuss words, mainly for lap cars. But like, I've never been blocked by a lap car that hard ever before in my life. But no, it was like I was just like, if I could get through these lap cars, we'll be fine. And I felt like I was a one man show there at the end, because I knew that the guys behind me were coming. So, man, that was exciting, though. I mean, that was kind of, for me, I was like, this is payback for Atlanta. Like, I thought I had Atlanta and lost it at the end, and I was trying to get it here at Daytona. Like, I was just try my tail off.
You came very close, and you mentioned the lap cars there at the end. What was it like? I know you talk about the block there, but for me and where we stand in the booth, I said it once, I'll say it again. It was by far the craziest and probably the most entertaining finish that we could have had. How the heck do y'all keep it straight there and keep it clean with those lap cars being right there in your way?
Jesus, take the wheel. No, in all seriousness, like, I knew I needed to get a run. The 9 car did not look like it was going to move up. The 2 lap cars were staying high, and I'm like, I'm either got to go in the middle or go low. And I tried to go low, and he blocked, and so then I shot to the middle, and luckily I was able to stick it back. I was able to get past the 9 before turn 1, and that's what kept us going straight. I think if the 9 car would have stayed on my inside, it could have been much more carnage then. But man, the whole night it took me about, I don't know, I'd say 50% of the race before I realized that you've got to be a little bit more advanced on the throttle. These cars don't hold the draft as well as the trucks did, and so you can't fall back or you just drop like a rock. So it was just, you had to keep your foot to the floor and make slight adjustments. But it was exciting, man. That was like, I don't think I said a word in chat for the last 10 laps. I was just quiet and just focused. So, oh man, the first interview. So thanks for bringing me on.
You did all the work there, my man. You got it to P2 and dang near to a win. We'll let you go ahead and just kind of take the throne here and go ahead and give any shout outs, sponsors, anybody you got to thank, anybody that helps you get to that P2 finish.
I mean, 100%. I have to give a shout out to all the Frito gang. Mike, Chuck, Jay, Aaron Bray, Ken Estep. Sorry he couldn't. He's recovering. It's good to see him in the car. We all work together. We work hard. We talk about strategy. It's gotten us where we are. Got to thank my wife. I have 6 kids at home, so she takes over the kids when it's race night. So I would not feel good not thanking her. Thanks to the sponsor, Palmer Golf. Great golf equipment. I wear one of his pullovers almost every day. So thank you so much, and shout out to the broadcast team. Y'all do an amazing job.
All right, and that is your second place finisher here. Tom Wendt in that 28 machine. And Josh, I believe you've got a very happy and excited race winner. But also, before you say that, Mikey, enjoyed talking to your spotter again.
Thanks, John. Thank you.
And I explained to the broadcast that you had a race earlier that did not go your way, that I was spotting for you. So I got one question. First and foremost, redemption?
Yeah, I definitely would say so. the pain has most definitely been numbed from earlier today. So I'm all so excited after this, I guess, redemption, if you want to call it.
Yeah, I know it's a different series, different competitors as well, but this definitely has to feel good. To win anywhere is nice. To win a Daytona is special, and I know you had a heartbreaker, so this one definitely has to really feel good for you. Now, you were really playing an aggressive card tonight. Was leading some laps, and then came down pit road after getting shuffled to, I believe it was third. You took fuel only, got back to the lead, and got shuffled back again. But really stayed aggressive, was very, very heavy on the pushes. Walk us through that race for you.
Yeah, just really coming off of just pit road for the last pit stop of the race. I took less fuel. I'm guessing most people probably took tires or filled up their entire tank. I only took I just barely make sure I took enough fuel to where I didn't take a full tank because I want to maximize the time or minimize my time in and out of the pits. And I took just the bare minimum amount of fuel. I didn't get it fully filled, so I just kind of banked on that the thing would be good on fuel. We were good on fuel for a few laps, and for the restart, really, I knew the 55 and 56 were working well together, and just based on the run before, so I just once they got by me on the restart, I just was like, I know I can't just ride behind them. I gotta get aggressive and try to work the outside. So I just kind of took some risk and kind of gambled for who'd want to go out because I feel like I'd give them a big push because I wasn't gonna want to ride around there because I knew if it went green all the way, then all of us would be good on fuel. So I just maintained to keep track position and just stay on the aggression tone of trying to get the lead back. Like anyone that jumped out of line from the bottom, I'd give him shots. I gave Tom a shot. He jumped out of line and shoved him up there, but just the kind of also working with that was just how once someone I'd push up there would go, they almost go to the bottom, kind of hurting the top, and it was just really tricky to work with there, and just all about just being a good pusher there, not causing anything. It was really tough tonight, and I'd just push them with the Xfinity cars, really just for how you couldn't really give a huge push. You had to lightly tap them because if you gave them a heavy push, or even something too heavy, it upset the rears and could cause them to spin. So I just had to focus on just giving almost an air push to just a bit of a small light tap, just good enough really for my pushers just to kind of keep me in the mix.
All right, well, congrats on the big win. Sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Well, I'm gonna have to shout out everyone at Radius Racing that runs in this league. Cameron Caldwell, Dakota Knoll, and Adam Kuhn tonight. Thank those guys. Grid Network for being on the car for tonight as well. It was great to get Radius their first team win for Road and Plate at Daytona of all places. Feels great to get it there. Gosh, have those guys out and just really just most of the guys I was kind of racing up front there at the end, really just all of them, like Tom and just all those guys, really. I mean, I'm kind of still trying to get a little familiar with this league, but pretty much most of the guys I was running at the front on that run. It was really fun racing with them, just how competitive it was and how tightly knit. So it was, shout out to most of the guys I was running up front with. It was really fun there. Pretty much most of the race doing with those guys.
Alrighty, well, congrats on that win, and not sure we'll see you next week at Daytona Road or not, but wherever it is, we'll see you next time out here in the Road and Plate series.
Thank you. Have a good night, y'all.
And that was race winner Michael Kruger here in the feature. Man, what a night! I every week I am not disappointed in the racing, the excitement, the craziness that we see.
I completely agree with you, Josh. And it's been an absolutely crazy season so far, as we are now pretty close to, actually, I believe, what would be the end of our season with this Road and Plate series. We've got Indianapolis Road Course next week, the '09 version of the Indianapolis Road Course. We go to Red Bull Ring after that on the 7th of November, and the 14th of November we'll wrap it up. We will be at Talladega. 3 races left with this series. I can't believe how it's been so far. I mean, for the guys out on track, I can understand the frustration, but this is just me from a broadcasting point. Tonight was what I would call one of those classic Daytona races. We got very, very much entertaining racing all around. And you got the Daytona carnage, too. It was not out of control to the point where I'd call this any bit of a wreckfest. You finished 15 cars on the lead lap, multiple a lap down. Most of the ones a lap down are because of poor strategy calls, missing their pit window, not having fuel. And I'd say the one small blemish on this entire race was just that ending with the lap cars, but I think it also made it for a much more entertaining ending. Not that we want people to go out, here's a lap car, and do that, but it definitely added to the entertainment factor and made the finish that much more special.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, wild one out there. Looking forward to next week at the let's try the Indy Road Course. Not what I was going to say in my mind, but that is where we are at next week, and that should be a fun one for sure as well. More onto the bracket. We'll I kind of failed to show the bracket multiple times tonight. Talk about it. I know I said I'd talk about it more tonight. Failed on that, but we will continue to bring that up. We will have an updated bracket for next week and continue to see how that goes. There is a prize for the winner of the bracket, which is $50, which will come down to Talladega. So 3 races left in the season, 3 races left in the bracket challenge. We go from 16 now to 8 left standing to determine who is one step closer to an extra $50 in their pocket. So definitely going to keep an eye out on that. I think that does it here from Daytona. Actually, no, there is one more thing. And last week we didn't broadcast. I had something come up. Somebody that I've known for years. Someone my mom has known for years. Family friend. They had a stroke. Was in a medically induced coma. Was in the hospital. And ultimately, it was just a matter of when the family was ready for this person to be taken off life support. My mom and I were up at the hospital last Thursday, and so we didn't get a broadcast, and then it was Saturday. It's when she passed away officially. They did take her to donate her liver. She was an organ donor. So they was able to get that, and hopefully everything was successful in getting that to the next person. So do want to thank the league for kind of bearing with me on last week's absence. And big thanks to everybody there. But on another note, big thank you to the fans the admins, and the drivers. You guys are awesome, and without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. And on behalf of Jonathan Canfield and the entire outstanding crew at JCTV, I'm Joshua Copernell, signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time.